Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I am going to discuss about the configuration file, what is the config files in the Playwright and how we use that. Okay, here you can see this is the official document of the Playwright, right? Here there is a configuration option is available, and I'm going to discuss about the Node.js project JavaScript. So click on the Node.js here from drop down, and then you will see the configuration option in the left side menu. Okay, so Playwright basically provide the Playwrights provide option to configure the default browser context page fixture label, right? Apart from that, we can also configure the uh, play options at a global labels, right? At the global labels, we can create a file playwright.config.js or playwright.config.ts if we are using the test. So if we are using TypeScript, right? So here when we create the project, at that time it also created one playwright config.js file where we can put all the configuration related things. Okay, what is configuration things we need to put here? Like if you want to uh, here you can see there is a headless equal to false we can mention. So in that case it will not run in the headless mode, the test will run in the headed mode. Viewport we have, like it will give us the what is the resolution of the browser when it will open. Ignore https error, video recording first time on the first retry, right? We have defined here. So after, if the test is failed and if it is retrying, then it will capture the videos. So if we are going to run the test and our file name is default playwright.config.js or playwright config.ts file, then no need to pass the playwright config file. Just run the npx playwright test command, it will automatically detect the file. But if we have different file name, like here you can see this is my config.js file. So in that case, we need to provide option during the execution from the command line hyphen config, then config file path. Okay, so these we can set up globally. Similar time we can set up at a local configuration for any particular test script. We can configure. Like here you can see test.use and there is configured viewport. So when it launch the test for this particular test, it will launch the browser on this port. Okay, there is one more setup here. So this is the bit within the test, within the describe for local blocks. So we need to run the test. Before that, it will configure the browser and at this resolution. Okay, so in the configuration file, there are some options like action timeout, page URL, browser name, channel, headless, viewport, storage, color, globe, geolocation, local permission, time zone. All these we can set up in a configuration files. So like here you can see there's a test directory, timeout, expect, what is expect timeout when we are verifying something, what is the timeout, fully parallel equal true, it will run the parallel test, forbidden, this is basically for the CI, forbid only, retries when we are going to retry. So this is configured basically CLI if we are passing some option from CLI or running the test from CI environment, then it will two times it will retry, otherwise locally it will and this value is 0. So worker, basically worker is how many times we need to run parallel execution we want to run in single, how many instances we need to run at a, during the execution. Like if we have here one, so at one time one instance will run the test. Okay, so if we have passed some values, some workers value, then it will run multiple times. So multiple time means here parallelly it will run 2 3 instances based on the value we are passing. So this is basically the reporter plugin what we are adding to generate the report into HTML file. So this is basically reporter plugin where we can pass to this is the reporter plugin where we can add to generate the report into HTML format. Here setting all the project below. So use, so this will basically we are providing here some options to run the test in headless mode. False means it will run in headed mode. Trace on first retry. So when it will retry first time after the failed test, it will trace also the logs. Okay, so similar action timeout here mentioned. So action timeout 0 means when it perform the click, then it will wait 0 seconds. So configure here project level, we can set up configuration to run the test on multiple browsers, right? We define here project, Chromium, Firefox and WebKit. So it will run all the three browsers. But if we are passing from the command line projects like Chromium, then it will run only the Chromium browser. So you can see this multi-browser execution here is configured all the three browsers, right? If we are running directly from the npx playwright test, it will run the test on the three browsers. But if we are passing the project name equal to Firefox, then it will run the test only on Firefox. Remaining two, it will not work. Here, these are the branded browser means it will run the test on the uh, Chrome browser, MS Edge browser, okay, which we are generally using. Okay, so there are some network related configuration we have also here which we can set up this value network mocking. We have automatic screenshot. We can mention a screenshot on only on failure or when we are setting, we can pass here the value like on capture screenshot for each test only on failure test. So it will capture the test only for failed. And if we mark this off, so it will not capture the screen. Similar type we have record video on off on retain on failure on first retry, right? These four value we can set up. Record trace view, we can also set up true false, off on retry and failure on first retry. We can set up this value. Okay, so these type of options, these options we can set up in the configuration file. So this is the global configuration file where we can set up all these details based on our requirement, and then it will behave like this. Okay, if what we are setting up accordingly, it will work. Hope this will be helpful to understand what is the playwright config file and why we are using. Okay, so if you like the tutorial, please click on the like button, subscribe the channel, share this tutorial to your friends and colleagues.